3 years ago, this city was sealed shut.
Locked down longer than anywhere else on Earth.
Streets empty, cafes closed, businesses boarded up. A city completely on pause. And the world watched. And the world moved on. This month, it was ranked the greatest city in the world. Not London, not Singapore, not Tokyo, not the city with the Eiffel Tower, or the city that never sleeps. Melbourne, Australia. And the reason why? Nobody's actually talking about it. Here's the thing they don't tell you in travel videos. A city can have the most incredible food in the world. It can have the most beautiful parks, the coolest neighborhoods, the most packed events calendar on the planet. But if getting from A to B feels like a punishment, none of it matters. The experience falls apart before it even begins. And for years, that was Melbourne's dirty little secret. The CBD had choke points. Commutes required 2, sometimes 3 connections. The city was brilliant, genuinely, undeniably brilliant. But getting around it was the frustrating part that nobody wanted to say out loud. Locals knew it, newcomers felt it, and for a long time, nothing changed. Therefore, on February 1st, 2026, they did something about it. 5 brand new underground stations, over 1,000 new weekly services added overnight. Commutes that used to demand 3 connections, now 1 clean, single, direct ride. But here's what actually surprised people, and this is the part the headlines missed. It wasn't just about speed. Suburbs that once felt disconnected, cut off, almost forgotten, suddenly felt like they were part of something bigger. The city didn't just get faster, it got closer, it got warmer. And if you don't even want to pay for a train, the free tram zone still covers the entire CBD. Students, tourists, locals, nobody pays a single cent to move through the heart of the city. This is what a 15-minute city actually feels like in real life. Not a concept, not a policy document on some government website. Your park, your cafe, your station, all within a short walk from your front door, every single day. The foundation was set. And on top of that foundation, that's where things get really interesting. Then the world arrived. The 2026 Australian Open broke all-time attendance records. The Formula One Grand Prix broke all-time attendance records. Both, same city, weeks apart. Locals have a name for it, Mad March. And trust me, that name is earned. But it didn't stop there. Later this year, the MCG, one of the most iconic sporting venues on the planet, hosts something that has never happened in Australian history, an NFL regular season game. San Francisco 49ers, LA Rams, on Australian soil, in Melbourne. Think about what that actually means. A city that already had the Australian Open, the F1, the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, and the Food and Wine Festival locked into its calendar, just added the NFL to the list. Therefore, when the NGV announced the largest Cartier exhibition ever held in Australia, over 300 items, Elizabeth Taylor's rubies, Princess Margaret's tiaras, nobody flinched. Nobody was shocked. Because at this point, Melbourne had simply become the kind of city the world wants to be in, the kind of city that things happen to. But here's the part I need you to hold on to. Because all of that, the records, the exhibitions, the global events, that's the surface. That's the part that makes the headlines. And if you only look at the headlines, you're going to completely miss what actually makes this city magnetic. Forget the events. Forget the rankings. Forget the trophy for a second. Ask someone who moved to Melbourne from London, from Chicago, from anywhere. Ask them what they noticed in the first week, not the first month, the first week. And they won't mention the Grand Prix. They won't mention the Metro Tunnel. They'll talk about the food. 94% of locals rate the food scene as world-class. Let that number sit for a second. 94%. That is almost unheard of for any city, anywhere in the world. And it makes complete sense when you realize Melbourne is home to people from over 140 different cultures. On any given night, you can eat your way through Vietnam, Ethiopia, Korea, Japan, Russia, and Lebanon, all within the same suburb. This isn't a food scene, it's a world tour on a plate. Then there's the coffee. And yes, we have to talk about the coffee. In Melbourne, coffee isn't a morning habit, it's a religion. Locals don't just drink coffee, they have opinions about it. Strong, specific, slightly intimidating opinions. The kind of opinions that make you second-guess your order. And honestly, they've earned that right. Then there's a tram. The number 96 runs from Brunswick all the way down to St. Kilda Beach, through hipster neighborhoods, through the buzzing CBD, ending right at the ocean, all for the price of a single fare. Travel creators have been calling it the best budget city tour in the world. They're not wrong. And there's the State Library, a stunning, high-tech, world-class public space where anyone can walk in off the street and spend an entire day without spending a single cent. Expats from London and New York say the same thing consistently. They've never lived in a city that offers this much, completely free, to absolutely everyone. But here's the thing expats keep bringing up that you won't find in any tourism brochure. Walking home at 2 a.m. alone. Not thinking twice about it. Not checking over your shoulder. Not planning the route in advance. Just walking. For people moving from some of the world's other major cities, that feeling is not something they take for granted. In Melbourne, it's just Tuesday night. Okay, I have to be straight with you. If this video stopped here, you'd think Melbourne was some kind of perfect utopia. It's not. And honestly, that's what makes it more interesting. Because if you really want to understand a city, don't read the tourism board. Go to the comment sections. Talk to the actual people living there. The rental market is tight. Vacancy rates are low. Competition is real. And finding a good place at a fair price takes patience. It's not a secret. Melburnians will be the first ones to tell you. But this is a city people are actively trying to move to. High demand isn't a disaster. It's a consequence of being desirable. Then there's the weather. Locals will swear it's manageable. Most of the time, it genuinely is. But every now and then, usually on the exact day of a big outdoor event, Melbourne will remind you that it operates entirely on its own terms. 4 seasons in a single afternoon. It's not a flaw. At this point, it's basically a personality trait the whole city has accepted, laughed at, and moved on from. And then there's the Montague Street Bridge. A bridge so low that trucks have been casually hitting it for decades. It has its own memes, its own fan following, its own strange, beloved place in the city's cultural identity. In a city that just unveiled 5 gleaming new underground stations, this one stubborn little bridge absolutely refuses to be solved. And somehow, that's perfectly Melbourne. But step back and look at what we're actually complaining about. A competitive housing market, unpredictable weather, a bridge with a sense of humor. Therefore, ask almost anyone who lives there whether they'd leave. The answer, almost every single time, is no. Because a city doesn't have to be perfect to be the best. It just has to make you feel like staying. And Melbourne does exactly that. Every single day. A city that was locked down and written off. Now sitting at the very top of the world. Number 1 out of 150 cities. Beating New York, London, Shanghai, and everyone else in between. And after everything we've covered, the infrastructure, the events, the coffee debates, the tram ride, the bridge, the laneways, the 2 a.m. walks home. Does it really surprise you? It shouldn't. The best city in the world isn't the one with the tallest skyline or the most famous landmarks. It's the one where an ordinary Tuesday feels worth showing up for. Melbourne figured that out, and the rest of the world is just now catching on.
There's a story in every corner, and we're just getting started. If you love discovering the unexpected, hit that subscribe button to join the Meridian Noir community. Don't miss a single corner. Smash that like button if you found this helpful. We'll see you everywhere.